Hello everyone, you're welcome back to another wonderful episode with me on LittleNolly'sDream by Noella, and I am Noella Taba. Today guys, I'm just gonna have another quick one with you. Let's talk about bad behaviors in children. So how do we handle it? I came across a post on Facebook recently, and this lady was talking about finding help on a particular child in her setting, under her care, that is unable to keep hands to herself. Like she wants to pinch, she wants to push, she wants to just use her hands and slap and push every child around her. So much so that children are scared of being around her, and she's just left alone, and she keeps doing more of it, and she's getting worse by the day. Apart from calling on the parents to come and, observe the child's behavior, which is really a stressful thing for parents to go through, for them to be called up at the child's setting on this kind of a situation. Meanwhile, the child is still a baby. This child is just 21 months and she barely knows anything, but she's so far learned how to push, pinch and everything, and it's making the whole nursery go upside down. Children are running away, parents are coming to check on the child, what's really happening, So, and I was wondering what actually is happening to the child, because they have even done sensory walks with the child, encourage the child through sensory activities, where the child can rather, divert her energy into something else and calming down, if in case she's maybe under some kind of pressure, under some kind of, she's not comfortable. The sensory activities are there placed in the nursery so that it helps the children to calm down. So this sensory section is where they take the child to often. Or they take the child to a library section where they talk about hands are not for pinching, hands are not for biting, hands are not for pushing, all those things. And they keep doing that every time the child is doing this, every time the child keeps repeating this behavior. So I was wondering actually what was happening. Now here is my opinion on how to handle a child with such a behavior. First of all, I want you to understand that this child is just 21 months old. Whether the child is 5 years old, because we're dealing with children from birth to 5 years old. Whether the child is 5 years old, because we're dealing with children from 0 or from birth to 5 years old, sometimes 7 years old. And at that age, most of them turn to be naughty, they want to raise tantrums, they want to seek attention. They do a lot of things, and because they are trying to get your attention, they tend to hurt others so that you notice, because that's just how they are, that's just how they play. They tend to do it the wrong way. So how do you help these children? First of all, let's just dive in to what you should do when it comes to such a child. Like if you meet the child in the scene having to push another child, or beat, or pinch, or bite, whatever wrong the child has done to another child, please stay calm. It is the way you react that cause other children to feel scared. Scared because you made them feel so. Now, if the child has beaten another child, and then you go, hey, what happened? Hey, why would you do that? Why did you do that? Other children are going to get scared. The child who was beaten maybe didn't want to cry, and just going to cry because of your expression. So it's very necessary for you, the teacher, to keep calm. Secondly, that child should have a particular teacher that is so close to him or her. It is very important. The child might not work well with you, despite the fact that he or she is in your class, but the child might work well with another teacher. Maybe that teacher is in another class. Whenever the child misbehaves, just call the other teacher. Miss Hilda, Miss Karen, please can you come get her? And she goes to the other class. You might not believe it, but some children do not like the class in which they are being placed. So you might think the child is for 3 to 5 years class, and she loves 1 to 2 years class. What are you going to do? You send her there to get a relaxation. The third thing is to check back at their home. It is very important because these children have nannies. These children have families. They have close relatives with whom they live. And you don't know how they play with the child or how they react in their home. You need to look for the root cause of this situation. Why is the child behaving like that? There must be a reason somewhere. Maybe it's just because the nanny plays in that manner with him. There was a time in our nursery, there's a particular child that was behaving in this manner. One weekend, I had to take upon myself, with permission, of course, from the manager, I had to take it upon myself to go to their home, just pass by for about a few hours. And then I had to observe the child. The nanny, this is how the nanny plays with the child. And when the child goes back into the nursery, she does that to the friends. Maybe not doing it the way the nanny did, and maybe having a harder grip on those children, and not every child likes to play like that. So what do? You need to seek a solution about the situation. It must come from the root cause, maybe from the home, or so literally the child doesn't know what he or she is doing. I'll tell you the truth. They do not know how harmful their acts may be. And even though when they get angry, they tend to behave in that manner, even towards their teachers and their parents, they still do not know the gravity of their offense, and they still do not know that it is so wrong to do so. But how do you help the child with such a behavior? First, I said you should check the root cause. Go to their home, observe the child for a few hours, see how the child plays, see how their parents react, see how their caregivers react, those close relatives that are in their homes, how did they react towards people, and you will know how do they play with him, and then you will know where the problem is coming from. Then you can now start seeking for solution. The second thing is, make sure you try calling on the teacher in charge, or who is closest to this child. Make sure you try looking for a teacher who is really close to the child. There must be a teacher that really can handle such children, or just are good with children. Don't get me wrong, teachers, not everyone is the same. You might have a child in your class that is getting you so off up there, and your next door neighbor or the next teacher in the other class is so in love with that child, or the other teacher knows how to handle such children in a better way. But maybe due to the child's age, the child can only be in your class. So what do? You can get the child to the other class. Whenever the child starts behaving like that, just call on the other teacher. Please, can you come get her for a few minutes? And that's it. Now, the third thing to do is, please do not scream at the child or scream in class. Portraying your emotions at that point is a very deadly thing to do. First of all, it's going to cause the other children to be scared, much more scared than they were. Second of all, the children are going to have a very different message in their mind. And when they get home, mark you, they will tell their parents, this one did this today, and this is what happened. Miss Ella shouted, she screamed, we were scared. Mommy, I'm scared. I don't want to go to the nursery again. You don't want to hear all those words from the children. They will say it. Even the 1-year-olds that know how to talk, they're going to say, wah. No mommy, no nursery, no like. They're going to say it. Yeah. So you better be careful how you react towards certain things. And things like this, you really need to calm down. The fourth thing, I know very well, I'm very much aware that the sensory activities, taking the child to the sensory section is a good thing, but it doesn't have to be exaggerated. That every time this child does this, you just pull the child off into the sensory section. It doesn't make sense. Or take the child to the naughty corner. You make the child more traumatized, and the child will want to retaliate and protect him or herself by fighting you back, by fighting back their friends, by shooting, by pushing again, by screaming, and that's not helping matters. So once the child does it, don't just take the child straight into another section. No, don't just go calling on the other teacher. Keep calm. I said it in my last video, so I'm going to say it again. You can check the video about 4 things you shouldn't do in class. I mentioned this and I'm still going to mention it again here. So what you shouldn't do at all is scream or retaliate immediately. What you should rather do with such a child is call the child to yourself and ask the child, did you pinch your friend? Without a serious or stern face, please. Without looking so angry. Don't solve the matter with anger. So you keep a straight face and you ask the child. And make sure not to smile. Make sure not to smile, please. So you're just putting up a straight face and you ask the child, did you hurt your friend? The child will likely not answer. So what do? Grab the child by the hand very softly and take the child to another seat and sit with the child. Just allow them to sit down quietly. You don't need to say any more. The child's just going to sit there and be wondering what will happen next. Nothing will happen. You're already giving the child the punishment that he or she was thinking or will be thinking or be awaiting. So you've already given the child the punishment. The next thing to do is, anywhere you're going in the classroom, please take the child. Let the child be your purse or your handbag. Take the child along and you'll be fine. Within 1 month of continuous sensory activity application with caution, accommodating other teachers to help you change the child's behavior, calling on the parents, visiting the child's home to look for the root of the matter in case it comes from the home, and many other things that you might want to include. It's going to help the child to be better. Do whatever you can do out there to make the life of every child different and better and purposeful. Be kind enough to leave a comment in the comment section below, guys, and tell us about how you would handle children with such bad behaviors and what you think you can help us use as another idea or another way to solve such a situation. I can't wait to hear for more topics from you on whatever you want us to talk about, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.